Good morning, all. So, in this lecture, we'll be discussing about employment of young children. To discuss employment of young children, first we need to look into account, consider who can we term as a young person. A person who is either a child or an adolescent. Section 2, subsection D defines young person as a person who is either a child or an adolescent. And then you have provisions regarding employment of young children, which says no child who has not completed his 14th year shall be required or allowed to work in any factory. You cannot have anyone who's less than the age of 14, who has not completed the age of 14 and working in a factory. Non-adult workers to carry tokens, that is, a child who has completed his 14 years, that is, he has completed his 14th year, or an adolescent shall not be required or allowed to work in a factory. A child who has completed his 14th year or someone we call a teenager or an adolescent is not allowed to work in a factory unless we have a certificate of fitness which is granted to him under section 69, sorry, and that is given to the manager of the factory. The manager of the factory is in possession with the fitness certificate such granted, stating that such adolescent or child carries while he is at work a token giving a reference to such certificate, indicating that he has a certificate of fitness in possession. Then we have certificate of fitness as per section 69. A certifying surgeon on application of any young person or his parent or guardian accompanied by a document signed by the manager of factory that such person will be employed therein if certified to be fit in a to work in a factory or on the application of the manager of the factory with any young person rather, who wishes to work, examine the person and ascertain the fitness for work in factory. Let's discuss that. A certifying surgeon, a surgeon in his capacity shall, on receipt of application from a young person, when a young person gives an application to the surgeon, or the parents or the guardians of the young person can give the application on his behalf. Any young person can make an application, or his parents or guardian can make an application on his behalf, or the manager of the factory where the young person wishes to work can provide an application. And when the certifying surgeon receives such an application, he might consider that, examine the person so as to ascertain whether the person is fit enough to work, is good enough to work. The certifying surgeon, after examination, may grant the young person in the prescribed form or may renew a certificate of fitness to work in a factory as a child, provided he is satisfied that the young person has completed his 14th year, also that he has attained the prescribed physical standards, and that he is fit to work. That is, after examination, if the surgeon feels that this young person is fit enough to work, he has achieved the physical standards that are required for doing this job, and is certain that the person concerned has completed 14 years of age. Under this circumstances, the surgeon may provide a certificate of fitness. And the certificate of fitness is granted or renewed shall be valid for a period of 12 months from the date of issue. If it is valid, if it is granted today, starting today for the next 12 months. Any fee payable for the certificate shall be paid by the occupier. The charges for getting this fitness certificate shall be paid by the occupier. It should not be collected from the young person. It shall also not be recoverable from his parents or his guardians. That is, the responsibility for paying for the fitness certificate lies with the occupier and not with the young person or his. The next, that is effect of certificate of fitness granted to adolescent. No female adolescent or male adolescent who has attained the age of 17 years but who has been granted a certificate of fitness to work in a factory as an adult shall be required to work or allowed to work in a factory except for the timings, that is 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Someone who has completed 17 years of age, completed the age of 17, whether it is a male adolescent or a female adolescent, who has been given the fitness certificate to work as an adult in a factory, both of them are not allowed to work within a factory except for the time duration, which is morning 6 to evening 7. That is, they are allowed to work in a factory only between the timings 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. This is section 70, that is effect of fitness certificate granted to the adolescent. Next, let us have a look at the working hours for children. No child shall be employed or permitted to work in a factory for a period of more than 4.5 years. 4.5 hours in any day, that is beyond 4.5 hours. No child shall be employed or permitted to work in any factory. That is the maximum duration, 4.5 hours. The period of work of all children employed in factory shall be limited to 2 shifts, which shall not overlap or spread more than 5 hours each. That is, no child is firstly permitted to work more than 4.5 hours, and the period of work of all children employed in factory, being limited to 2 shifts, shall not spread for more than 5 hours each. And each shall be employed in only one of the relays, which shall not accept with the previous permission of the chief inspector, and that too in writing, be changed more frequently than once in a period of 30 days. We refer to the shift in which the children are working. It shall not be changed frequently. It shall not be changed more than once in a period of 30 days. No child shall be required or allowed to work in any factory on any day on which he has already been working in another factory, is another point. This is done to ensure that there is no exploitation. Many a times what happens is, out of poverty or out of the situations that exist between their families, in their families, a child is forced to work for more than what is his capacity. He works a certain number of hours in one particular factory and then goes ahead and works in another factory. This is something which could be detrimental for his health as well, impact his health. So it is very clearly laid that no child shall be required to work or allowed to work in a factory on a day in which he has already been working somewhere else. But the problem is, with regards to such laws, the laws are made, but they are not implemented properly. In rural areas, you'll easily see someone who's working a certain number of hours in one company, one factory. He'll finish the work there, and soon he goes to some other place and starts working there. Poor situations, financial situations are other factors that affect it. Probably he might be in desire, desperately, you might be requiring help, financial assistance, and that might be one of the reasons as well. Although the law says no child shall be required or allowed to work in a factory on the day on which he has already been working for. It also says that no female child shall be required or allowed to work in a factory except between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. Between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. The timings for a female child is 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Beyond this or before this, no female child is allowed to work. Then we have notice of period of work. Our next point, notice of period of work for children. There shall be displayed and correctly maintained in every factory in which children are employed, and notice of period of work for children are clearly given, which shows clearly for every day the period during which the child may be required or allowed to work. Then we have register for child workers, register of child workers, wherein the manager of every factory in which children are employed shall maintain a register of workers. It is the responsibility of the manager of factory to ensure that a register of workers is kept. Any factory which employs children has to maintain a register of children, and this should be available to the inspector at all times during the working hours or when the work is being carried on in the factory. The register should be available to the chief inspector. Whenever the work is being done in the factory or during the working hours, an inspector wishes to inspect it, it should be readily available to him. And the register should include all the details like the name of each child worker in the factory, the nature of his work, what is the kind of work that he is doing, the group, if ever formed, in which he or she is included. If the particular child is added to any group, that should be clearly mentioned. Where his group works on shift, the relay to which he is allotted, a number of his fitness certificate that is granted to him. All those things should be clearly mentioned in the register that is maintained. Now, next we have the power to require a medical examination. When an inspector is of the opinion that any person working in a factory without certificate of fitness is a young person, or that a young person working in a factory with a certificate of fitness is no longer fit to work in the capacity that is stated. That is, I've mentioned two conditions right now. When an inspector sees a person who's working in a factory without fitness certificate, that is, a person is there who is working in a factory, does not have a fitness certificate, but as per the inspector, is a young person. Or he sees that there is a young person who is working in the factory, he has a fitness certificate in position, but as per the inspector, the young person is no longer fit to work in the capacity that he was in. That is, he might have a fitness certificate in possession, but he's not fit to work any longer. Although he might have a fitness certificate, the current status is such that he is no longer fit to work. In these circumstances, he may serve on the manager of the factory. He might give the manager of the factory a notice requiring that such a person or young person shall be examined by a certifying surgeon. In this situation, wherein in both the cases, like a fitness certificate is not there, or the person who has a fitness certificate but currently is not fit to work, in such situation, the inspector shall give a notice to the manager of the factory, and the notice shall require such a young person to be examined by a certifying surgeon. It is imperative, it is necessary that the such a person is examined by the certifying surgeon, and such person or young person shall not, if the inspector so directs, be employed or permitted to work in factory until the examination has been done and has been granted a certificate of fitness or a fresh certificate of the fitness, as the case may be, as per section 69, or has been certified by the certifying surgeon, examine him not to be a young person. Now, here what we saw was various scenarios. The first one being the chief inspector has seen a person who is working in a factory, a young person, but does not have a fitness certificate. And the second scenario, wherein there is a person who's working in a factory, he has a fitness certificate, but the current situation is that he is not fit for the job. He's not fit physically for the job he was given. In both the scenarios, the chief inspector may give a notice to the manager of the factory, wherein he shall ask the manager to ensure that both the persons are given, are required to be examined by the certifying surgeon. The certifying surgeon may, during the course of examination, look into various aspects, like whether the person is fit enough for the job, is physically fit. He might ensure, the inspector might direct the manager of the factory to ensure that until and unless the medical examination has been carried out, both the young person who does not have a certificate and the person who has the fitness certificate but is not currently fit are not allowed to work or not made to work until they have a medical certificate of fitness, which may certify that the young person is fit to work, or the certifying surgeon might rule out that the person is not young. With regards to the person who has a fitness certificate existing, depending on the situation, the certifying surgeon may renew his fitness certificate. If he feels that the person is fit to work, he might renew the certificate. Or if a situation is such that the person is indeed not fit to work, may forbid him for working as well. That is the power to require a medical examination. Then we have the next point, that is power to make rules. The power to make rules lies with the state government. The state government is entitled to have rules, make rules for fees, physical standards to be attained with regards to children, adolescent, it also mentions about the various procedure that certifying surgeons have to follow. The state government is empowered to make rules. However, it cannot be in the derogation of provisions of Employment of Children's Act 1938. The state government is allowed to make rules, but in the same breath, it cannot go against the Employment of Children's Act as well. The Factories Act, which was formed, implemented, regulates the working conditions, protects the health, prescribes safety, and it ensures the welfare of workers and imposes penalty where the provisions of the act are not complied to. And then in this lecture until now, we focus on various sections, wherein section 67 with regards to employment of young children, we had section 67 which prohibited employment of young children, section 68 which required non-adults to carry a token regarding fitness, section 69 related to certificate of fitness, section 70 effect of certificate of fitness granted to adolescent, wherein we saw that with regards to the timings related to the work, wherein no female or male adolescent who's attained the age of 17 and treated as an adult, with regards to them, they shall be required or allowed to work in a factory only during the time duration of 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Then we had working hours related to children, that was section 71, wherein we discussed that no child shall be employed or permitted to work in any factory for more than 4.5 hours. We even saw that a child is not allowed to work. No child shall be required or allowed to work in a factory on any day on which he has already been working in another factory. They're not allowed to work in two places at the same time, same day. Then this is with regards to notice of periods of work for children. Then we had register of child workers, wherein the onus was with the manager of the factory to maintain a register for children where children are made to work. And we also saw that a register should have every details about the child. Details like the name of the child worker in the factory, what kind of work he or she is doing, if the child is given into a particular group, grouped into a particular job for doing a particular job. It should clearly be mentioned in which group he is included, whether the group works in shift, the shift which he or she is allotted should be mentioned. It should also include the number of certificate that is given to him. Then we focus on the power to require a medical examination, wherein we saw that in a case wherein the chief inspector sees that there is a young person who's working without a fitness certificate, or for that matter, someone who has a fitness certificate, but the inspector deems that the person currently is not fit to work. In such scenarios, we saw that the inspector might require the manager or give the notice to the manager, asking him to refrain the concerned person from working, stop the other person's young person and the person who is not considered fit from working, and require both of them to have a medical examination. And upon examining, it is the certifying surgeon who might either give them a certificate of fitness or renew the certificate of fitness, as the case may be. Or if he feels that the person is not young or the person is not fit for the work, might do it accordingly. That is with regards to section 75, wherein we discussed the power to require a medical examination. Then we had section 76, which dealt with power to make rules, wherein we focused on the aspect that it is the state government that generally has the power to make rules for the fees, physical standards that needs to be attained by the children and the adolescent. It has even the power to make rules regarding the procedure for certifying surgeons, the procedure that the surgeons needs to follow. The certifying government, state government, is empowered to make rules regarding this, but we saw that it cannot be against the Employment of Children's Act 1938. This was with regards to employment of young children. In this regards, until now, we have focused on various aspects with relation to the Factories Act. We started with regards to the Factories Act 1948. Then we discussed about various objectives. We discussed various features of the act. And then we started with various aspects related to health. Health aspect, important aspects related to the health of the workers. That is from section 11 to 20 that we discussed. Then we went ahead with the safety aspects. That is from section 21 to 41. Safety measures needed to undertaken to ensure that workers are treated properly, taken care of, that safety element is addressed to. Then we had welfare aspects, all those things required for the welfare of the employees working in factories. Then we had related to the working hours of adult. That is from section 51 to section 77. And today we focused on employment of young children. That was from section 67 to 77. We have also different definitions with regards to the point. Definitions like hazardous process. We have manufacture, definition of a worker, factory, occupier. Then all those things that we have already seen, which includes health. That is from section 11 to 20. About safety from section 21 to 41. Various welfare aspects, that is from 42 to 50. Working hours, that is from 51 to 77. Annual leave with wages, that is from 78 to 84. And in this in the next lecture, that is the lecture to come, we shall discuss all those definitions that we have, various definitions with regards to Factories Act 1948. We'll be discussing them in detail. That is it for today's lecture. We'll stop here. And before stopping, I shall proceed ahead with your attendance part.